Gator Dave, how we doing this week? Week 10 is here, sir. How are we?
Yeah, we're good. We're good, man. We're in double digits, up to big number 10. So we'll see. We'll see who gets fired after this weekend. Our friend there, Joe A-hole, got fired from LSU, and now we've got competition for the lane train. So we'll see what all transpires down the road. But yeah, week number 10. Pretty excited, headed to Jacksonville this weekend with Nirvana. Got Ian and Colin coming up from West Palm Beach to the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Even though they don't like to call it that way anymore, Mike. We've been there a couple of times. Actually done the show there one time a couple of years ago. So it's good times. So we're Bet Utopia, your number one location for all things sports betting. Please subscribe, like, follow, all that cool stuff. We're here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And now we're on the podcast specials at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the above. And you get 4 extra games if you listen to the podcast. So coming your way. So that's what we got, Mike. You ready? You ready for another week? I mean, you were all worried about your team last week, sweating it, got sweated early, and then they came back and did what they were supposed to do. And I told you not to worry, and they came
Not the
through second half of the game.
that game was atrocious, and that's where I went wrong. I should have taken Stanford first half,
First half,
and I would have been golden,
you,
golden.
you'd have kicked back.
And then they gave up some garbage at the end. I would have had to cover too, but yeah. All right. Anyway, we can move on from that one. We
All
can.
right. Let's move on. So here we go. We got 12 games and then 4 games on the podcast. We're going to start out with our armed forces. We have Army favored by 1.5 at Air Force over under 48.5. So Army, really both these teams pretty disappointing. Army coming in at 3-4. They had a really good year last year in contention at the end, but it just wasn't happening this year. Air Force even worse at 2-5. It's Navy's year this year, Mike. They're one of the undefeated teams, and we'll talk about them maybe later. Both teams 3-4 against the spread. So Army, let's see who they beat. And they beat Charlotte and UAB. Whew. Not real powerhouses there, Mike. Lost late to Tulane last week by 7. They did have a big win over Kansas State early in the year. The up and down roller coaster, Kansas State Wildcats. So right now their quarterback is Cale Helms. He's got the usual 51% completion rate, only 274 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. But he likes to run the ball, Mike. 613 yards, 4.2 average, 10 TDs. So it's that for real deal, triple option, all that good stuff. They got 2 running backs that have over 300 yards each, so they are obviously run heavy. Couple things. So Army, when look on the defensive side, Army's ranked 47th on pass defense and 64th on running defense. They came away. So last week when we look at, when we look at Air Force, so they came away with a win last week against Wyoming. Prior to that, they had 5 straight losses. Their QB, Liam Shrika, he's their quarterback. Actually, he can pass the ball 61%, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's also a runner, 725 yards, 5.6 a carry, 9 TDs. So he does a good job. Now, Air Force is 134th against the pass, but they're not going to have to worry about Army passing, right? But they're 104th against the rush. Ooh, they might have some issues with that running attack at Army, right? This one's going to be a tight one as usual. We know how it goes when we have the armed forces playing, but I think Army's going to take care of this one, and that running attack is going to run through Air Force. So give me Army and the money line, Mike.
I'm not mad at that pick, Dave. Not mad at that pick. It is being played over there in. Is it at Army?
Air Force.
Oh, it's at Air Force. Okay.
Air Force Academy.
Uh,
Yep.
You got that altitude. Got that
Yep.
altitude. But no,
Yep.
it's simple for me. It's the under. It's the under, Dave. I know we talked this game earlier this year. These military matchups, historically speaking, it is the under. Is the only way to go in these. They hit about for 70% in the last 50 or so matchups between these three teams being Air Force, Army, and Navy. There's 3 games a year. There's already been one, and that one went over. So if you know a little bit of statistics here, that means this
Yeah.
one's going under, and that
Under.
means Army Navy will also go under. Give me the under 49.5 here. I think that's the way to go.
I like it. I like it. So we got a chance
Quick
at both
maths.
both winning on this one. So I think it's a good call. All right. Let's stay out there a little left on. We got Arizona, and they're favored 4.5 at Colorado, over under 53.5. So Arizona is 4-3. The Buffs a disappointing 3-5. Wildcats have lost 3 of the last 4 games, but it was to Iowa State, BYU, and Houston, the top of the league. You throw in Texas Tech, and you have the best teams in the league, right? Wins over Oklahoma State, Kansas State early in the year when they didn't know what was going on. So, quarterback Fafita, he's 66%, 1,829 yards, 17 TDs, and 4 interceptions. Their running back Ismail Mahaldi is 445, 5.8 yards a carry, and 1 TD. Not too shabby. When we look at their defense, Arizona has 9th best passing defense and 61st ranked rushing defense. And they are 4-3 against the spread. Buffs come in, lost 3 of 4 games. They lost to Utah, TCU, BYU, those mid-range teams. Besides Utah, he's still kind of up there a little. But they had a win against Iowa State, and that was at home. Right now, they're kind of up and down on who the starting quarterback's going to be. But more than likely, it'll be Salter from Liberty. He's been the bell cow as of late. 62%, 1193, 9-5, and rushed for 266 and 5 TDs. Their top running back only got 281 yards, and that's Micah Welch. Colorado comes in. So 4-4 against the spread. If we look at the last couple of games, Arizona, they lost to undefeated BYU in overtimes. 2 weeks they lost to Houston by 3. Both teams, you know, I really think Colorado is the one that's going to have the issue in this game. I think that Arizona has got a little bit better team right now. Colorado's in flux. I don't think Deion's who he has been in the past. So therefore, I am going to go with the Wildcats to cover the 4.5 in this one, Mike.
Yeah, I like the Wildcats also. I think they have the better team overall. Colorado's defense is really struggling right now. They're giving up over 200 yards on the ground and passing. That's never a winning formula. So yeah, I'm with you. Give me Arizona to go ahead and get the cover of this one in Boulder. A lot of injury issues for Colorado as well on the offensive side. Hakeem Williams, he's injured. Things are just not going right for them. So yeah, I'm with you. Give me Arizona.
Shout out to Scott and Jared Guerin in the chat. So appreciate you guys joining us and coming aboard. Next game, we've got Louisville at Virginia Tech. So Louisville is favored in this one by 10.5, Mike. 53.5 on the over-under. The Cards are 16th in the land, 6-1. Virginia Tech is 3-5. Of course, we know they fired their coach early, and hell, they looked better after they fired the coach. Louisville and Virginia Tech both 2-5 against the spread, so you really can't count on either one of these when we look at that, right? The Cardinals' one loss was to Virginia at home in overtime. They had wins over Miami and Pitt, which is pretty darn good. Miller Moss, their quarterbacks at 65%, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Brown, the running back, at 652, 8.7 a carry. Damn, that's pretty good. Louisville's got the 21st ranked pass defense, 21st ranked rush defense. So the Hokies come in with a big win that you projected on a Friday night there, Mike. By the way, I'll give you your props. In double overtime on that Friday night. I thought at one time I had it made in the shade, but Virginia Tech came back and made it happen after that crowd got good and juiced up. They also had a win over North Carolina State, losses at Georgia Tech and Wake. Drones has been drones up and down, 60% passing, 1,500 yards, 14 TDs, and 6 interceptions. He's run for 414. Hawkins, the running back, 531, 6.2 a carry, which is pretty good. Virginia Tech's defense, not as good, 88th on pass and 55th on the rush. So Louisville's played 2 games on the road, Pitt and Miami, and they won both. One by 7, one by 3. I think the Hokies still have a bit in them, and I think 10.5 is asking a little much. So, Mike, I'm going to jump on the Hokie wagon here and say that 10.5 is a good number. I know Louisville's going to win this one. I don't think Virginia Tech can win it, but I think 10.5 is too much. So give me Virginia Tech and 10.5, Mike.
All right, so we got our first head-to-head here, Dave, because I am on the opposite side. Give me Louisville in this one for the reasons that you mentioned, right? They have gone on the road to some tough environments, came away with victories, some being more convincing than others. But the one that convinced me the most was against Miami. At Miami, they really stifled our running game. And if you look at Virginia Tech, that's really all they have right now on offense. That double overtime game that you mentioned last week against Cal at home on that Friday night, we knew Blacksburg was going to be rocking. Double overtime game, mind you, okay? Kyron Drones, 9 for 18, 119 passing yards. He did have 3 touchdowns through the air somehow on those 9 completions, 1 interception, and 2 rushing touchdowns. They had 2 running backs go for a total of over 300 yards rushing. Louisville is going to be prepared for that. They are going to shut down the running game, force Kyron Drones to throw. I think he's going to make some bad throws. Give me Louisville in this one. I think they're the real deal, and right now they're looking at a setup with old Georgia Tech, I believe, in the ACC championship game. Unless Virginia doesn't stumble, because Virginia, like you said, beat Louisville. So, yeah, I said it, Dave. Miami is probably not going to be in the ACC championship.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
We're not, dude. We're not. We're not. I'm telling you right now. And that's probably a better... Look, I'll discuss this later in the show, but it's probably a better situation for us. It's a better situation. It's a better situation.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So leave us out of it, and we'll sneak in there as a 10 seed. You know what I mean?
Cruise right in. Yeah,
exactly.
Get the good game.
But I legitimately think that that's how it's going to go. Georgia Tech, I don't see them losing out. We'll talk about that game in a second. Louisville, they're going to be a tough out. They don't really play too many, tough teams the rest of their schedule. Virginia even is looking like they have a shot at winning out. So it's a bit of an uphill battle for Miami in terms of tiebreakers and things of that nature too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd be anxious to look closely at what Louisville has left. Oh, you said they got Georgia Tech left, right?
No.
They don't?
Nope. No, they do not play each other. So Louisville, real quick, this is their remaining schedule. They got at Virginia Tech this week. They have Cal at home. Then they have Clemson at home. And then they have to go to SMU. That's their schedule. That's the remaining 4 conference games.
Damn.
And then they got Kentucky at the end of the year, but obviously not a conference. So
they
got a shot. They got a shot at running the table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
For sure.
Damn. Crazy. All right. Next game, way left. We're gonna do Hawaii at San Jose State. So San Jose State favored in this game by 2.5. So that's where I know where you're gonna be headed. Over under 58.5. So Hawaii 6-2 on the year, having a good year by Hawaii standards. San Jose State is only 2-5. Hawaii's losses to Arizona early in the year and Fresno by 2. They've they've beaten some teams and the competition hadn't been that great, but teams they've lost to in the past, let's put it that way. Um, and they're still only one game behind Boise for the Mountain West lead right now, which is pretty good. Their quarterback, Micah Alajadu, is 66%, 1757, 12 touchdowns, 6 TDs, and their running back, Landon Sims, has got 382 and averaging 4.72 TDs. So Hawaii on defense, 38th ranked against against the pass and 42nd against the rush, and they are 6-2 against the spread. Mike, the 2 wins for San Jose State, Idaho, and New Mexico. They lost to Stanford, Wyoming, and Utah State as of late. They're ranked 132 on passing defense, and Hawaii likes to throw the ball. San Jose State's 3-4 against the spread. Mike, I know this is one of those trap, weird ass games, but man, I just cannot go against getting 2.5 points with Hawaii in this one. And I'm gonna call this one a Gator Day block.
Gator
What do you
Dave
got?
lock, he says.
Tell me why San Jose State's gonna win.
I don't think they're going to win, but what I like more here, Dave, is the over. I think there's going to be points. I think there's going to be points. Hawaii is doing something that they don't typically do, which is win on the mainland, and they are
Yes.
clicking right now. I think they're sitting at 6-1. Flip side, I believe San Jose State's sitting at 2-5. I think Hawaii's the much better team. Line is a little sketchy. Line is a little sketchy for that reason, but Hawaii's basically been an underdog in every game that they've played this year, and again, they are 6-1. So it doesn't worry too much. I like your pick with Hawaii, but I'm going to go with the over with some points.
I like it. I like it. Hey, we need some shout outs there, Mike. We got Evelyn Johnson. We got Colin, who's going to be in. Colin's going to be there with us in Jacksonville. We got
Oh, okay.
Linda,
What's up, Colin?
Evelyn, and we got Joe Johnson as well. So appreciate you coming on there, Colin, first timer, and we'll see you in Jayville for sure. He was asking about the Virginia game. We don't have Virginia, do we? That's his team. He's a UVA guy.
We don't, but maybe we'll throw in a quick little bonus at the end. Quick
All
little,
right,
see what happens. Shout out to
all right.
Colin.
Let's. All right, all right. So now we're gonna head to the SEC. Mike, we've got Oklahoma at Rocky Top. Tennessee is favored by 3 in this one, over under 56.5. So the Sooners ranked number 18, 6-2 on the year, while the Vols are 14th at 6-2. This one is loser leave college football playoff chances, because that puts you at 3 and you're out. 3 and you're out. So Oklahoma lost at home against the Lane Train last week by 8. They lost to Texas. They won at South Carolina. Now we got the moment of truth. They got to play a team. So another team and try to win. Mateer, he had the thumb injury. He has not looked as good as he had. He has not completed pass over 20 yards in the last 3 games, Mike. However, if we look at his whole body of work, he's at 64%, 1790, 18 TDs and 6 interceptions. But since the thumb injury, things just hadn't been going as it should. So he's really going to have to do better against the Vols. Sooners had a 10th in the pass defense, 6th in rush defense. We know they got a good defense. Couldn't handle Ole Miss last week, however. So Oklahoma's 4-4 against the spread. Vols come in with a win over Kentucky last weekend after the loss to Bama by 17. They also barely beat Arkansas, but it was at Arkansas after they fired the coach. Had a good game against the Bulldogs, but lost. Aguilar looks pretty good, 66%. Over 2,000 yards, Mike. He's one of the only ones we're going to talk about tonight that's thrown over 2,000. Bishop is now the running back. They always worried at the beginning of the year, who's going to be the running back for the Vols? This guy's got 652 and is averaging 7 yards a carry and 9 TDs, doing quite well. So Tennessee 4-4 against the spread as well. Mike, I'm going with the gut on this one, and I'm going to say that Oklahoma is going to continue to stumble a bit. Tennessee at home, tough place to play. Give me the Vols to cover the 3 points, Mike.
Yeah, I think that's probably the safer bet for sure. And you mentioned where these two teams are sitting right now at 6-2. I, I don't know if 3 losses eliminates an SEC team this year. I mean, there's so much parity going on in that conference. I'm not sure, and there's still a bulk of the schedule left, right? Like we're talking, Oklahoma's
Yeah,
playing
big
Tennessee
games.
right now. That's number 14. The rest of Oklahoma's schedule, mind you, if they lose this game, Oklahoma can find their way back in the playoff, is all I'm saying. They have to go at Alabama next week, top 5 team. Then they got
Loss.
Missouri at home, maybe. Then they got
That's it.
Missouri at home. Missouri's currently top 20. If they win this week, they're going up to 15. And then they have LSU at home as well. If LSU does what they should have done all year long with the talent that they have, they could go on a run, find themselves back in the top 25. That's another top 25 win for Oklahoma potentially. I'm just saying it's not so far fetched to see a 3 loss team in this year's playoff. On the flip side, Tennessee, this is a win or go home. It's win or go home for the rest of the year for them. They play this game against 18 Oklahoma. Then they have New Mexico State at home next week because of that powerhouse SEC schedule. Um, then they got to go to your Gators, who are currently unranked and will probably be when Tennessee plays them. And then they get Vanderbilt at home. Now, as long as Vanderbilt doesn't stumble along the way, and we'll get to that game here shortly against Texas, but Tennessee can't afford another loss. Oklahoma, I think they're in a better shape. If they lose this one, they could maybe still have some help and
But
find their
their
way in.
schedule, Mike, their schedule, I
There's
mean,
no
they're going to
way for
play
Tennessee.
Alabama. They're going to
There's
lose
no
to
way.
Alabama. I mean,
Well,
Oklahoma's going to lose to
maybe.
Alabama.
I'm just saying there is a possibility if they were to win out and find a way to beat Alabama next week
Yeah,
and to beat Missouri and to beat LSU. The pathway is still there with a loss this week.
I agree.
Tennessee, they lose, they're done.
I think the cream of
So
the crop's going to come and we, the cream of the crop's going to rise. And I think my gut tells me it's the usual. It's Georgia and it's Alabama and it's going to be Texas A&M. But everybody's playing. Everybody's got tough games left. No one, there's no cake for anybody. This is the meat of the schedule here in the SEC. So any damn thing can happen for sure. Got a
yeah,
shout out to my wife, Nirvana. Hey, hun. Hey. So go ahead.
shout out. So yeah, I'm going with the over in that one. I think there's going to be points. I think both teams are in a bit of a do or die situation. Obviously, one more so than the other. But both teams could easily find themselves in the top 10 and in the playoffs this year when it's all said and done. Tennessee wins out. They're definitely in the top 10 and they'll be in the playoff game. Oklahoma wins 3 out of their last 4. And I think they find a way to possibly be in the playoff too. So big time implications in this one. It'll be a good one. Night game, 7:30. But yeah, give me the over. Let's have a little bit of a shootout.
Yeah, the Vols DBs, they're 122 on pass defense, so Mateers should be up there. That's why I say if he
Not
can
great.
throw the ball, get over that 20-yard BS that he's had trouble with, he's got a chance here if he can throw it more than 20 yards down the field. All right,
Well,
next
I
game
think that injury that he had on his hand. I mean that
should be
to have that
prevented.
mid season surgery on your throwing hand and then expected to go out there and what his offensive coordinator said this week is demanding perfection from him. I mean it's a lot on the shoulders of a 1 year transfer, but um, we'll see. That
We
season's still young.
shall see. All right, let's head over. We're gonna hit to the military academy again. We've got Navy at North Texas. So North Texas favor here by 6.5, over under 65.5. So Navy comes in undefeated. Mike's 7-0. North Texas is 7-1. Um, Navy's only beaten one team with a winning record, and that's Temple, and they won by 1 point. Um, the glue, the guy that keeps everything together, Blake Horvath, the quarterback at Navy, 54%, 1,000 yards. He's run for 814, 6.8 a carry, and 12 TDs. Texa is the main running back. He's got 464. He's averaging 5.8 a carry and 6 TDs. Navy's defense against the pass, 115. Not too good, as we'll discuss if North Texas can throw the ball. 30th on defensive side, which is okay. Navy is only 2-5 against the spread, Mike, which makes this one shaky. So we look at the Mean Green, only lost to South Florida, and they got hammered by South Florida, 63-36. Um, you know, their wins, no powerhouse wins, very run of the mill. Obviously, it's a group of 6 team. They play who they play. Their quarterback, Drew Mestamaker, 68%, 2,467 yards, 21 TDs, and 4 interceptions. Running back Hawkins has 547, 6.2 a carry. North Texas is 6-2 against the spread. A couple of things jump out at me here. One is we talked about Navy's defense against the pass, not good. And the Mean Green like to throw the ball 24-67. That's throwing it down the field. Um, but North Texas rush defense not too good, so they could have a little bit of trouble here. But that's why it's 65.5 in terms of the total points. But I went back and I looked at strength of schedule, Mike, to kind of give me that final nail in the coffin. Strength of schedule: North Texas 79th, Navy 134. They've got the easiest damn schedule in the the easiest schedule in the league. So Mike, I'm gonna go with North Texas here. I think they're gonna take care of it at home pretty easy. They win by 7, 10, something like that. So give me North Texas. I think they win well here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I like North Texas in this slot as well at home to cover the 7. You look at this Navy team, they are the best rushing team in the entire nation. They're averaging over 315 rushing yards a game. And unfortunately for North Texas, that is one of their bigger weaknesses. They're giving up over 190 a game on the ground. That's sort of the key to me in this one is if North Texas is able to score early and get up on Navy, which I think they can do. North Texas is getting 307 yards a game through the air. Navy's giving up almost 240 yards through the air, one of the worst in the country. I think if North Texas is able to get up early on them, they're able to sustain a lead. That's going to force Navy to have to throw the football rather than be able to rely on what their strength is, obviously, with running it. Biggest thing for me in this game is who Navy has to play next week, and that would be Notre Dame. They are going to be making a trip to top 10 Notre Dame to get absolutely whooped up on. Notre Dame destroys Navy, and they own a record. I believe it's like 82-13 all time. I think it's 4-20. Navy's record versus Notre Dame since 2000. So that's a game that they're looking ahead right now to, sitting at 7-0. They win this one, they're probably going to be ranked in the top 25 if they beat North Texas, because North Texas is sitting at 7-1 right now. So you got to look at a top 25 matchup there between Notre Dame and Navy. There's going to be a lot of hype behind it. You mentioned Blake Horvath. They got absolutely smoked last year against Notre Dame, so it's also a revenge slot for Navy. They're going to feel good about their team going into that one. I think it's a look-ahead slot. Give me North Texas to get the cover at home here, and Navy's hopes and dreams of an undefeated season. I'm with you here, Dave.
Are done. All right. Let's head to downtown Atlanta and talk about our Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And oh, by the way, did you notice, Mike? Our friends around the corner here, won again last night, Mike. They are 6-2. The Kennesaw State Owls
They're
are
killing it right now.
six
They're
and two. They're first in Coosa right now, baby. They just
it's
made a
wild.
bowl last
It's
night,
wild.
6-2.
Yeah, they're on a roll.
Just taking care of business. So, but we'll go to downtown Atlanta. We'll talk about Georgia Tech. They're not playing in downtown Atlanta. They're playing over in Raleigh, but Georgia Tech favored by 5.5. Over unders 57.5. So Georgia Tech comes in this one 8-0. Opening the year. North Carolina State is a paltry 4-4. Haynes King killing it. There's starting to be more Heisman talk about him. You talked about it at the beginning of the year. You love the guy, we make those comparisons to some of the quarterbacks in the NFL now, and just a great kid and killing it out there. So he's let's see, yeah, I looked it up. He's sitting at number 8 on the Heisman list, but a couple more wins and I'm sure he'll be boosted up there. Right now it's
Hey,
Mendoza.
hold on, real quick. So I mentioned last week when we talked the Georgia Tech game, I mentioned his Heisman odds. They were plus 8,000 going into
It's
the game
2,500
last
now.
week.
2,500. Yeah.
This is why you listen
by
to us, folks.
75%.
This is why you like, comment, and subscribe right there,
There you
because
go.
we're giving out plus 8,000 potential hits here, people. Haynes King
There you
is
go.
killing it, but
He
I'll
is.
let you continue.
So just throwing out that top 2, we're Mendoza and Ty Simpson right now. So the Jackets, and oh, by the way, my boy Trey's on as well. And Colin's thinking NC State. So let's see what we got here. So the Jackets last 4 weeks wins over Syracuse, Duke, Virginia Tech, and Wake. Not too bad. King is 72%, 1480, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing. He's the number 1 rusher on the team, 651, 5.8 a carry, and 12 TDs. They've got 2 other running backs, Hewley and Yanes, 488 and 422. Doing quite well on the running game. So we know the Jackets like to run the ball. Georgia Tech, when you look at the defense, 61st on pass defense, 87 on rush defense. Jackets 6-2 against the spread. The Wolfpack. Another year we're talking crap about them. So they got hammered by Pittsburgh last week by 19. Lost to Notre Dame. Got beat by a coachless Virginia Tech team at home. Not doing that well. I mean, CJ Bailey, he looks good. 70%, 2,000 yards, 17 TDs, 7 interceptions. Smothers, 825 yards, 6.9 a carry. That's not too shabby on the offensive side of the ball. But here's where they suck. They're 129 out of 134 on pass defense, and they're like 50th on rush. And Mike, they're only 3-5 against the spread. So I'm gonna think our hometown Jackets can win by a touchdown here. It has a chance to be close, but at the same time, you never know with this NC State team. They could get their ass just whipped. So I'm gonna say they're gonna beat them by at least a touchdown here, Mike. What do you got?
I like this guy Colin in the chat. I like this
Ah,
guy. Colin knows ball. All right, and I'm going with NC State at home plus 5.5. This is Carter Finley Stadium is not where you want to play as a top 10 team in a night game. No matter how good NC State's year they're having or how bad, it is not a place that you want to play with your season on the line. You mentioned CJ Bailey, the quarterback for the Wolfpack. We talked about him a lot last year. We've talked about him a good bit this year as well. Definitely in the preseason shows. Guys out of Chaminade, super high on him last year. He's a great kid, having an awesome year. Hollywood Smothers, the running back. How do you go against a guy like Hollywood Smothers, Dave? Give me the Wolfpack plus 5.5. You mentioned Haynes King, and we talked a little bit just a second ago about his Heisman odds now compared to what they were. And he is having a good year, but a lot of it is on the ground. And if NC State can make him throw the football, they've been without Malik Rutherford on the outside for Georgia Tech for the last few weeks now. Some guys have stepped up, but if you force Haynes King to make plays downfield and you force Georgia Tech to have to come back, they have won a lot of close games this year. So this is a team that knows how to win, but plus 5.5. If it creeps up to 7, I think it's money. I like NC State in this slot a lot. In reality speaking, this line should probably be closer to like a minus 8.5 for Georgia Tech. Give me the Wolfpack minus 5.5.
All right. I like it, Mike. I like it. A nice head-to-head. All right. Next game, we got Texas Tech at Kansas State. So Texas Tech, the darling of the Big 12 out there, with all their money now. So Texas Tech is favored by 7 in this one at Kansas State. Over under 52.5. The Red Raiders come in ranked 13th in the land, 7-1 on the year. KSU wants to play spoiler because they're 4-4, kind of been that roller coaster. So the bad mark for the Red Raiders a couple of weeks ago was Arizona State. They got beat by 4. But they're in that hunt for the Big 12 as well as some of the other teams that Texas Tech's beaten. Utah, Houston, Kansas, not in that league, but they have beaten them. The big question now is who plays at quarterback for Texas Tech this weekend? Will Hammond, he's done for the year. Morton is a maybe. It's a maybe, but it's more than likely third string senior Mitch Griffiths, Mike, who, by the way, is 72%, 212, 2 TDs. And Mike, did you know the last couple of years he played for Wake Forest as a starting quarterback? So we're not talking about some guy that's never played. He's thrown some yards out there. So that's the good thing. If Morton were to somehow get on the field, it's Katie bar the door, and that's why this thing's at 7 right now. Is we got the third stringer coming in. Texas Tech has 39th pass defense, number 1 rush defense. So they're obviously going to be dependent on that defense when they're playing Kansas State. Texas Tech 7-1 against the spread. K-State coming in, won its last 2 games against Kansas and TCU. Johnson's at 66%, 1,800 yards, 15 TDs, 2 interceptions. He's looking good. And Kansas State, when we look at their defense, 68th on the pass defense, 73rd on rush defense. Wildcats 4-4 against the spread. I am going on the defense on this one. I think it's going to be close. That 7 could end up being a push in this game, but I'm going to go with Texas Tech's defense and take them winning this one by at least 7.
Yeah, you mentioned Texas Tech's issues at quarterback right now and all the injuries that they have. They are starting their third string quarterback. It looks like Mitch Griffiths. You mentioned his time elsewhere prior to this. He's been playing football since 2020 in college, and he does not have the best stats in the world, hence why he is no longer at Wake Forest and is the third string quarterback. I think he's going to be able to put up numbers, though. The team that he has around him at Texas Tech, a lot of oil money that was poured into that team in this offseason. They have the talent there to make a run and to compete. That's the reason they're ranked 13. That's the reason they're looking at a potential Big 12 championship berth and a potential playoff berth. However, I am not getting in front of this Kansas State team anymore for the rest of the year. I am absolutely not doing it. We watched them play in Dublin against Iowa State at the beginning of the year, and I've sort of held on to what I saw in that game and carried it through this season. And they have made me pay for it in these last few weeks. They got Dylan Edwards back. He's been balling. He's going to be out for this one, though. So I think that's big for Texas Tech side. But I cannot do it. I cannot get on the other side here and get burned by this Kansas State team again. So I'm going to go with the over in this one. Give me points. Give me a shootout. Over 52.5. Let's make it happen. Real quick, I just want to say, everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching right now, please like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Everybody that's listening to us on the podcast, thank y'all for listening. Give us that 5-star rating wherever you're listening at. And make sure to tune in at the end here of the show for a bonus 4 games exclusively found on our podcast. We really appreciate y'all hopping in. We got 4 games left here to talk with you for the YouTube show tonight. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can catch us. So we love hearing from you. Make sure to jump in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Dave, this is it. This is your game.
It's it.
This is it. It's here.
Cheers to the cocktail party.
Cheers to the cocktail party. It's such a shame that they changed that. It really.
Yeah. What
we should.
I don't even like hearing what they call it now. I don't even want to know.
What is it?
But
the big game or something? What do they call it?
It's all over the tickets. I don't care. I'm just like, it's not. It's not. It's crazy. All right. A lot of crap going on in this game, obviously, and it is the game for folks that live here in Georgia and Florida. Obviously, we got Georgia at Florida playing in Jacksonville. And oh, by the way, this game will not be back to Jacksonville for 3 years. We will be playing at the Georgia Dome next year. And the year after that, we're playing down there in the Buck Stadium in Tampa. So looking forward to a different venue over the next couple of years. So, and oh, by the way, I got tickets to the Georgia Tech game too. Ian's not listening, Ian Cupello, but I'm sure it'll probably be he and I that are going. We'll probably leave mom at home since we only got 2 tickets. All right, here we go. So Georgia favored by only 7. The over-under in this one is 50.5. So Georgia ranked 5th in the land, 6-1. They only lost to Bammer. Florida limps into this one, 3-4 after booting our coach. And I don't even think a snowball's chance that we make a bowl unless it's one of those 5 wins and they feel bad for us. It looks like now the Lane train is going to come up a little short, Mike. It's going to probably make a stop there in Baton Rouge and not make it down to Gainesville. So pretty sad about that. Not sure who the heck we're going to end up with. So yeah, I see you crying there, buddy. So big win for the Dogs against Ole Miss. They had the win against Auburn by 10, which was a good one. Stockton gunning Stockton, Gunner Stockton, 70%, 1553, 10 TDs and only 1 interception. He's run for 279 and 7 TDs. So he's that red zone threat. Running back Bowens is 376. Frazier is 349. One little note of interest, their number 2 receiver, Colby Young, is out, will not play. But some other 4 or 5-star, I'm sure, will step in his place. UGA, let's look at their defense. This will surprise you, Mike. Usually their defense is in single digits, right? So if we break this one down, their rush defense is 18th, respectable. Their pass defense, Mike, 71st. Been a while since we've heard a defense like that. However, the Dogs are kicking it on offense, so it's kind of made up for it this year. Now, as usual, 3-4 against the spread, so not exactly tearing it up against the spread. So let's look at my Gators for a minute. We beat Mississippi State in our last game, and then we sent our coach packing, which was obviously a good thing. Well needed for the last couple of years. So if we look at our games that we've had, we beat We beat Texas when they came into the swamp. That was fun, but we got just flat hammered by Texas A&M a couple of weeks ago. So Lagway's not looking as he expected. He's only 65%, 1,500 yards, 9 TDs, and 9 interceptions. So he likes to throw it to the other team. Sounds like kind of like Anthony Richardson days of old. The one shining star definitely on that offense is Jaden Baugh, 611 yards, 5.2 a carry, and 4 TDs. He is a winner, chicken dinner. Talked about him at the beginning of the year. Told you about him. Look forward to seeing him in the NFL. Gators defense actually 67th on the pass defense side, 31st on rush defense. In the last game against Mississippi State, we had one of our 5 starting defensive backs play. Hoping, I haven't heard the report yet. It comes out on Wednesday night about where our uh, players are in terms of injuries, but we've got to get some guys back in the backfield, or it's really going to be crazy. Which I think it's going to be that way anyway. So Florida 2-5 against the spread. So as I listen, yes, Gary, and then as I listen to the interviews, Billy Gonzalez is our interim coach. He was a wide receivers coach for us. He was wide receivers coach for Dan Mullen. He was wide receivers coach for Urban Meyer. So he's been around the program for a long time. And one of the things he said that everybody jumped on was that, we're going to open it up a little bit. So it's kind of got the Gator Nation all excited that we're going to throw it around a little bit. But if you think about Lagway throwing it around a little bit, how many interceptions is he going to have, if he throws it around a little bit? So that it sounds fun, but at the same time, a little scary. So, but I do think that there's going to be some handcuffs off this offense, and I think the offense can score a little bit more than we have with Billy calling plays. And I think Georgia's offense is doing quite well, improved, better than their defense. Defense not playing that great. So, Mike, that's why I'm going to go 50 points seems low to me in this one. So I'm going to go the over in this game, Mike. I don't think we win. There's people that say we're going to win, but I think you'd be just as safe betting Georgia. I don't know. 7 might be a push, but they could lose by 10, the Gators. But I feel safe with the over 50 and a half in this one.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet. You look at Kirby Smart and his career. He doesn't lose a lot of neutral games, and if they're not played in Mercedes-Benz, he really doesn't lose a lot of neutral site games. Against Florida specifically, they've won, I believe it's 4 straight. First time since I think the late 70s that they've done that against y'all. They've won 7 out of the last 8. It hasn't been going Florida's way, but I think a lot of people forget because of DJ's Lagway's recent issues and obviously all the turmoil and stuff y'all have gone through with Billy Napier last year, this year, everything else. Y'all had Georgia by the balls last week or last year rather. Before DJ
That was a
Lagway got
fun
hurt.
game. That was a fun
Before
game.
DJ Lagway got hurt, I mean, y'all had Florida or Georgia right where you want them. I think when you have a mid-season firing and there is so much talent, so many blue chippers that are on that roster, when that happens, I think everybody kind of tightens up a little bit. And you kind of wake up a little bit earlier. You kind of pay a little bit more attention in meetings and whatnot, because it is a whole new staff, whole new outlook, whole new culture per se. And I do think that they are going to open it up a little bit because they have nothing to lose. They're sitting at 3-4. You mentioned it. They're probably not going to make a bowl game unless they win one that they're not supposed to. They got Florida State at the very end of the year. Should win that one.
Kentucky, maybe.
You got Kentucky. Should win that one. But you got Georgia. You got Tennessee. and I think you got one more in there also.
Yeah, we get to go see the Lane Train in at Ole Miss, baby.
There you go. There you
Piece of
go.
cake, right?
Um,
We beat them
so
last
if you
year.
could sneak, so if you could sneak one, I mean they're in a bowl game, but it's going to be an uphill battle. We talked about Kirby Smart. Dude is a dog. Literally, no pun intended. He is 19-4 off a bye week win at Georgia. This just so happens to fall in that category. I love your overplay. The over in this one has actually hit in the last 3 matchups. They've hit in the last 4 out of the last 5 as well. I think that's a great one. I'm going to go with Florida in the first half plus the 4.5. I'm going to go back to the first half against Georgia. They are just not a first half team. They're not.
No,
They are not a
no,
first half team. They are built
no.
for evaluations and changes at halftime, and they go out and pound you in the second half. But in
Kirby
the first
yelling
half,
at their ass at halftime. That's
it's
what it is.
it's every game, no matter who they're playing. So
Unbelievable.
I'm going to that well. Give me Florida plus 4.5 in the first half. They give Georgia a wake up, shock that everybody does every single week, and then Georgia puts them away in the second half. Yeah, I do like your over. I think Georgia hits 30, 35, 38. I think Florida's able to get into the 20s, and so I
Yep.
love that over pick. I think it's a great pick.
Yeah. So our friend Colin asked who I was looking for a new coach, and obviously, Lane Kiffin was our number one. If I had to pick one that would be
Which is
possible,
nuts, by the way. Which is
no.
nuts.
Why is it nuts, man?
Because he's just a
You don't like
recruiter.
Lane?
He's been to 4 or 5 different places now and
Oh,
hasn't
come on,
won
man. He's
one
killing it at
championship of
Ole
any
Miss, my
caliber.
friend. He's
Oh,
killing
get
Ole
out of here,
Miss.
dude.
He's killing it. We'll see how that goes. Number 2.
Y'all, he's
No,
killing it at Ole Miss. What he's doing at Ole Miss will still get him fired at the University of Florida. Right
no,
or wrong?
he'll do what he's doing now.
If he
Well, we don't
if
know
he
yet.
finishes at Florida, I'm just saying if he finishes
If he
at
gets in the
Florida
playoff?
consistently
If he
with
gets in the
with
playoff,
9 wins
you get in the playoff. That's all
and
you got to
and
do.
loses and lose it. Dave,
You,
come on.
right
Come
now,
on.
it's
You know
getting
your
in the
fan
playoff.
base. You know your fan
Right.
base. You make the playoffs.
We need to get
Even
to
if
make
you
the playoffs
lose,
first.
even if
then
you
we
lose,
win it all.
that's been the standard for 15, 20 years now. Ever since Urban Meyer left after Spurrier kind of got y'all back on track, the mindset is that's the problem with winning. It's addictive. And once you get a taste of it that one time, that's why Georgia fans get pissed off at Kirby Smart, which makes absolutely no damn sense. He's the best coach in the entire country, and they're still upset with him because of the way that these games go. They struggle in the first half, and they play well in the second. And I 100% understand it. But you know that even if your team makes the playoffs and they lose, the standard is set. That is the expectation. He doesn't follow that up and build on that next year.
Oh yeah, well
Immediately, it's hot seat.
You better
It's hot
build
seat.
on it. You better
It's
build
hot
on
seat.
it.
Whether
Yeah.
you're at Ole Miss, whether you're at Florida, LSU, Notre
That's right.
Dame,
That's right.
Bama, I mean, there are expectations, and it's going to get diabolical. This is only the start with this little coaching carousel. I mean,
Yep.
it's going to get ruthless.
All right, Lane Kiffin, number 1.
No.
Number 2, and it's still not a total no yet, but I like Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame. I've heard
No way.
behind the
He's
I've
not
heard
going.
behind the scenes that he does not have the control at Notre Dame that most coaches get when they're at a regular school. That's a rumor I heard this week, that he doesn't have the control.
You know what y'all are
and
going
he
to say
sure
next?
doesn't have near the money that we can offer, which is going to be about $13 million. Unless he gets a salary bump up to 10, 12 mil, that's a possibility.
Let me guess.
And those are
hold on.
No,
Those are your two. So no, the
there's
third
no
one
3.
is you're going to bring Bear Bryant back from the dead with a seance, and he's going to be
No.
the coach of the Gators.
Well, if you want to do that, we'll just take Urban back, But there's
He's
no
not
number
dead.
3. There's number 3. Anything after that, I'm not happy because there's just nobody. Because no one wants to leave that's that good.
John Gruden. Whoever gets John
God,
Gruden,
people keep saying that. He's washed up.
Oh my! There's nothing washed up about him. There's nothing washed up about the guy.
When was the last time he was in college, Mike? When was the last time he coached college?
Anything.
It's been like
that doesn't mean
15
anything.
years.
You know why that doesn't mean anything?
Yeah, we'll take Belichick. Hopefully North Carolina can give us Belichick. We'll take old Belichick.
No. You know why John Gruden is relevant today is because of his current contract with not only Barstool, but before he got with Barstool, he was doing stuff on Instagram to kind of keep himself busy with all this lawsuit with the NFL stuff going on. And he has a major following with the younger generation. They love John Gruden. So you put a Super Bowl winning coach in that environment that gets dudes fired up and ready to run through a wall. I am telling you, whatever program he goes to, if it has a big time booster and logo behind it, Clemson, LSU, Florida, Florida State, South Carolina, Virginia Tech. I mean, he is going to do wonders with that program. Even Arkansas. I mean, you put him in a position, give him 2 years.
That might be where he goes because I don't think he goes to Florida, LSU. I just don't think that the boosters are going to take. There's still a little baggage, and the freaking boosters at Florida are a little uppity, little this, and all his bad baggage.
Another thing with Gruden, right? He's suing the NFL for $100 million.
Well, I thought he'd won his lawsuit.
Well, he won the ability to sue them.
Okay.
So if he wins that, he's already said that he's desperate to get back into coaching, that he would basically coach for free. So if you put, if they're smart and the way they write this up, you don't have anything to lose. For some of these big time programs that are desperate to get back into relevance, you don't have anything to lose with this guy other than, all right, yep, we made a mistake. He wasn't the one. Let's go let's throw the whole boat.
So we're not going to have to spend any money on him? So you're saying we can get him for a freaking dime?
I think you could probably get him for $4 or $5 million a year. In comparison to Lane Kiffin, who you're paying $13 million, who's never won a thing, who's never won anything. As you're also having to pay a buyout for the prior coach. You might still even be having to pay out the buyout for Dan Mullen at the same time. I think $4 million over 9 is a pretty.
I don't know. I've not heard anything about this. I'll coach for free shit that Gruden's got going on. So.
Colin makes a point in the chat. He said something about the NIL culture. I think,
and
I
Gruden
think that helps him more
so. Can he handle it?
I think it helps him more so. It's more like NFL. It's not so much as you're, pandering to a kid. You're presenting that kid with an offer and go get it done. You send in your best recruiter and he signs the deal and you're, on to the next one. I genuinely think whoever takes the chance on John Gruden, whether it's a college team or an NFL team, I don't think he'll ever coach in the pros again after suing the NFL. So his only shot is in the college to get back into it. But I genuinely think whatever team takes a chance and a risk with him, could be UCLA. I genuinely think that, and actually now that I say that out loud, that is a perfect opportunity for John Gruden. That is a program that hasn't won anything of relevance
they can't even put anybody in the stands. They're worse than y'all about putting people in the stands.
They hardly can get into a bowl game. So that right there might be the perfect situation for Gruden to step in and show what he can do. But I genuinely think that he deserves another shot based off of his coaching knowledge and his ability to get guys to fuck. I mean, he's a leader. Period.
Well, we've seen what he did on the shows on TV and all that shit. When he sat down with QBs and stuff, the quarterback whisperer type guy. I mean, he had a great reputation for a long time there. And there's a guy, there's a couple of guys.
Monday Night
Gator
Football.
Fans.
I mean, he resurrected Monday Night Football when he took over Monday Night Football with Mike Tirico. It was dead.
So, yeah. So
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because there's also not a lot of guys out there right now. If you look at these coaches in
No.
this transfer portal era, how much faith and how much time are you going to be willing to give any of these guys when you have a Kurt Signetti going from a James Madison to an Indiana team who hasn't won shit in 80 years and instantly turns them into a contender? I mean,
And
what does
makes
that
12
mean
million a
for
year now.
everybody else? But what does that mean for everybody else? You know what I mean? That's the expectation. They see other people. It's
Yep.
like looking at somebody else's relationship and comparing your own. They're doing it, so you know what I mean?
Why
Why
the hell
can't
could, where
you?
can't we? What the hell?
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I go back to with this coaching carousel. It will be diabolical this year. All these midseason firings before week 8, before week 10, it is going to get diabolical in these next few years before they figure out what to really do with this NIL and this transfer portal. But
I
it
agree.
is truly the wild, wild west right now.
I agree. I agree. We'll see. When we got freaking Joe Blow from Rooster Poot U, looking forward to it. So
Yeah.
next game. Stay in the SEC. We got Vanderbilt. Commodores at Texas. Texas is favorite here 2.5 over under 44.5. So the Commodores 7-1, surprising everyone. Texas 6-2. They're both in close games last week. Vanderbilt, we know, one loss to Bama by 16 in a game that Pavia had a bunch of turnovers. Since then, they've beaten LSU and Missouri by a touchdown. Last week, in my opinion, in that Missouri game, um, I, you know, if you look at the stats in that game, it's rather interesting. You know, Vanderbilt did what they needed to do to just kind of get across the line and get her done. Pavia didn't have that great of a game throwing the ball, running the ball. It just wasn't that great. And to me, Missouri's okay. I'm still a proponent that their schedule's been easier than most in the SEC. So that's an interesting factor when I look at this next game. So Pavia 69%, 1,700 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He leads the team in rushing at 458. Alexander's their first running back. 388, 6 TDs. Vanderbilt on the defensive side, number 70 on pass, number 18 on rushing defense, which is pretty damn good. Um, going to be a low scoring game for sure in this one. They got it at 44.5. Vanderbilt 6-2 against the spread. All that means is no one had confidence in Vanderbilt all year and finally did, and now they're beating the spread. So Texas won a hot one at Mississippi State last weekend. Damn, they scathed getting out of that one. And we know we got injury to the QB. The anointed one got injured in that game, got a concussion. He's probably not going to play. So Arch is in concussion protocol. Last I heard, he wasn't going to play. They're going to play Matt Caldwell, who's a senior. This year, he's only thrown for like 85 yards, 73%. So Caldwell was at Troy for a couple of years, 23 and 24. His numbers there, 63%, 1,600, 13 and 8 in 2024. So he's a respectable backup. They got to get the ball to the running backs, man. Wisner, CJ Baxter's back. They've got to get the ball there if they stand any chance at winning this game. Texas, we look at their defense, 66 against the pass, number 3 against the rush. And what do we say? Commodores like to run the ball. Texas is only 2-6 against the spread, so worse than Georgia. I am gonna say, Mike, in this game, I think this game's in Austin. I think that Texas has the guys, the Jimmies, the Joes. I think that Pavia got a little lucky last week, and I think the jig's up on this one, and it's damn 2.5 points. So in when I look at this one, the money line for me and the Longhorns is a pretty good one. I think Texas can beat them by 3 points in this one. I don't think they're going to just beat their ass, but I think they'll beat them by a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, man, this was one of those that I was really not hoping to see on our slate because
This
it's a
one's a
bit of a
gut.
toss up.
It
Yeah,
is. It
it's
is.
it's a bit of a toss up with this one. You talked about Matthew Caldwell coming in, probably going to be the starter. Arch Manning, as of earlier this morning, he was still in concussion protocol. So chances are, yeah, he's probably not going to get cleared. They're going to bench him for this one. Man, this Vandy team looks really good right now. To get in front of them, they only lost to Texas last year by 3 points when Texas played them, and that was when Quinn Ewers, Matthew Golden, a much better Texas offense, um, much better Texas defense. So I'm gonna go actually with the over in this one. I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I was potentially looking at that Texas side. I don't know. There's something about it. I think Matthew Caldwell, he's riding a super high right now, right? He came in for Arch last week in overtime, threw one pass, touchdown. They ended up winning the game. That was all she wrote. So he's been hearing, all week how much of the man he is, taking first team reps. He's probably thinking in his head, I'm a senior. This is my shot. This is my chance to get tape on. This is my chance to potentially be the starter the rest of the year if Arch Manning is hurt. Uh, I think he's going to be able to show out a little bit early. I think Steve Sarkisian is going to have something in those 15 plays to kind of get him loose, get him calm, get him comfortable. Playing at home, I think, is massive for them in this one. But I also think Diego Pavia and this Vandy team is not going to go down lightly. So I think they're going to be able to put up points. I think both teams are going to be able to get, around 24 points or so, 21, 24 points. So I'm looking at that over 45 and a half. I just think this one's going to be a kind of a down to the wire type situation. I do like the Texas side. I'm with you there. But man, this Vandy team is scrappy right now. And I'm not too excited to get in front of that. So give me the over 45 and a half here, Dave.
All right. I like it. I like it. Yeah, this one was one of those I looked at and I go, my gut just told me. I mean, I saw most of that Vanderbilt game. I saw most of the Texas game, and I'm just like, it's just one of those where the gut hits you. And I said, I gotta play that game, and I just feel that I feel Texas is going to do this one. And right now, Arch came back to practice today. He's still, it's still a maybe, but we'll see. He's listed as questionable, so probably a good shot he plays now if he's listed as questionable, but we'll see. All right,
I don't
next
know. I
game
don't know
we
if that helps him. I don't
Oh, I
know
know.
if
I know.
him playing. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's the consistent guy, that's the only thing you get out of it. He's the guy that's been playing this whole damn time, so we'll see.
Well,
I don't
like you said, he's the anointed one. He was given the
Yes,
crown before the season even started. So it's
exactly.
kind
The
of hard to go away from
expectation
that.
is he's there. He's been the starter all this time.
Yeah.
And I don't think the other guy's just going to go out there and just rip it up. So I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but I feel just slight boost when I look at that, just from a confidence level in the team. Um, Next game, going back to my boy Mullen, we got New Mexico at UNLV. So UNLV is favored here by 4. Is that what you got, Mike? Nope, 3.5. Over under
Three and a
61
half.
and a half. Over under
61 and a
61 and a
half. Yep.
half. So we got the Lobos coming in 5-3 on the year. The UNLV Running Reds are 6-1. New Mexico State's won their last 2 games against Utah State and Nevada, but they lost a tough game against your San Jose State team A few weeks ago, they lost against Boise State as well. So, Lobo quarterback Jack Lane, Layne. He's 67%, 1,600 yards, 9 TDs, 8 interceptions. Their lead running back is Bankstone, 410, 5.8 a carry and 4 TDs. He's also had 201 yards receiving, so pretty good kid. Last year, this guy had 1,100 yards rushing. So he is a good running back and hasn't quite turned it on this year. So New Mexico State, when I look at their defense, listen to this. On the pass defense side, 106. Rushing defense better at 36. So New Mexico State is 4-4 against the spread. UNLV, first loss last weekend to Boise, and they got their ass ripped. They played a real good team, right? They lost by 24, but they did score 31 points against Boise, okay? Quarterback Calandria from Virginia, right? Wasn't he Virginia? Colin? Yeah. We got Matt on, by the way. But Calandria, the quarterback, 67%, 1,600 yards, 12-4. He's run for 410, 4 TDs. Thomas, the running back, 615 yards, 7.4 carry and 7 TDs. So UNLV, when we look at them, their pass defense and rush defense, horrible. 114 and 127. Mullen never talked about having a good defense, did he? UNLV is 4-3 against the spread. Mike, with these defenses, 61 points, Mike, is a drop in the bucket. Hell, one of these teams is going to score 61. Give me the over 61.5, easy money in this one, Mike.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it all year for UNLV to finally have their reality check because they've been getting by
against
these
Boise?
terrible teams.
Yeah.
They've been getting by these terrible teams by the skin of their you know what,
and they got no schedule.
And they got absolutely handed to last week against Boise, or 2 weeks ago rather. They're coming off a bye. You said it. They don't really play anybody the rest of the year. They play Colorado State, Utah State. They do have Hawaii at home on a Friday night game, so
that'll be a good game.
That could be one that we're talking about towards the end of the year here. Right around Thanksgiving, I think, and then Nevada is who they will wrap up with. So they really don't play too many people. That Boise State game, I think, is going to come back to haunt them in a big way. But I'm with you. Their defense is trash. Give me the over 61.5. Their offense has looked good, but their defense is awful. New Mexico, I believe that they're going to be able to put up some points on this team. Will they get the win? Probably not. Will they get the cover? Probably not. But I'm with you. I'm much more comfortable with that over in this one. So I think that's the way to go. Also, quick little side note. This is the first time that we've discussed the New Mexico Lobos on the show.
It's true.
Nice little fun fact.
It is true. And they don't suck. They're 5-3. They're a decent team. So,
yeah.
All right. We're going to go back to the SEC. We're going to go Mississippi State at Arkansas. So, last I had was 4.5. Is that what you got there, Mike? Arkansas 4.5, 67.5 on the over/under. The Bulldogs come in 4-4 on the year. Hogs are 2-6. Fired coach. This one's kind of a battle of the bottom, right? Bulldogs lost a heartbreaker last week. We talked about that against Texas. I mean, god dang, it felt bad for them. Prior to that, they lost to my Gators. They lost to Texas A&M. They lost to Tennessee. So in that Texas game, however, Blake Chapin had the game of his life, 26 of 42, 381, 4 TDs. On the year, he's 66%, 1906, 13-5. Running back Booth and Bothwell, 470 and 465. I watched that game. Those guys are badass. Go ahead.
Fluff Bothwell.
Oh, Fluff. That's right. I forgot about Fluff.
One of the best names in all of college football.
Oh my God.
Fluff Bothwell.
That offense is badass. That is a badass offense. Blake Chapin's a great guy. I mean, and I've heard, they brought him to SEC media days, and he was so well spoken and so all fired up about Mississippi State. I kind of hate it for the guy that, you know, this is where they are. It's almost like this guy deserves a little bit more. And you put up numbers like he's put up, and you go, damn, he should. But needless to say, so Mississippi State on their defense, 48, number 48 on pass, number 81 on rush. Mississippi State is 7-1, Mike, against the spread, which is pretty damn good. The Hogs, they've lost 6 in a row. Last 2 were at home to Auburn and Texas A&M. They have been able to score, but the defense just blows. And I expect nothing different in this particular game. We got 67.5 is the damn near 68 points is the actually you got 68.5 points it's up to now. So that point total is way up there. Green, he can throw the ball, another 2,000-yard tosser, 2178, 63%, 18 TDs, 8 interceptions. He's also rushed for 603. So we know the offense is going to be there. But I mean, Mississippi State's got a decent defense. Arkansas, number 97 on pass defense. And remember, Blake Chapin is tossing the ball around. And even worse, 121 on the rush defensive side of the ball. So, that total, even though it is 68, is tempting. Arkansas 3-5 against the spread. So I expect this one to be a fun fest, a lot of scoring. Not sure if I'd go with 68. I might when I get down there to Florida, but I think Jeff Levy's going to get his first SEC win this weekend, Mike, and I'm going to take the Bulldogs and the 4.5. Give me those 4.5 because I think Mississippi State's going to win this ball game.
I think it's a good pick. I mean, Mississippi State is proving a lot of people wrong this year. I think their win total going into it was like 3.5, and you mentioned it. They're at 4 right now, sitting at 4-4. Plenty of opportunities left in front of them as well. Arkansas, they have an absolute gauntlet to end their season. They're sitting at 2-6. Their only wins this year against Alabama A&M and Arkansas State. Haven't beaten a Power 5 team yet this year. Or Power 4, I guess it is now. But 4 of their 6 losses have been by 1 possession. And they've been to good teams. At Ole Miss, they lost by 6. At Memphis, they lost by 1. Memphis is looking like they potentially could sneak into the playoffs. Your alma mater. Notre Dame, they got absolutely destroyed by. At Tennessee in Neyland Stadium, lost by 3. At home against Texas A&M, lost by 3. Auburn last week, they should have won that game. They lost 33-24. They were up in that game, absolutely blew it. Got outscored in the fourth quarter, 17-0. They were winning in the fourth quarter, 24-16 going into it, and they just collapsed. Taylon Green had 3 interceptions. He had his worst game of the entire season. I don't know if that's going to happen again. This Arkansas offense is good. You mentioned how bad their defense is, but their offense is good. You talked about Mississippi State and their offense. Fluff Bothwell, Blake Shapen, they are good. I'm going to go with the first half over. I'm not a huge fan of that 68 points. That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
33 is the first half number, and that's still a lot of points. But I think it's highly possible. I think this could be a 21-14 game at halftime. Very, very, very easily. 17-17. I think there's going to be points in bunches in this one. Lots of big plays. Lots of blown coverages. Lots of broken tackles. Give me the first half over 33. It's going to be an entertaining game in what would otherwise be not very entertaining at all. So I'm with you, though. I think Mississippi State on that side, that's a great pick to go ahead and get their first SEC win. Because if not now, kind of win for Mississippi State the remaining season. I mean, they got Georgia next week. Then they got Missouri, and then they finish up with Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. So they probably need this one to get that first
Yep.
SEC win of the year.
Yep, they
So
do.
yeah,
They
I
do.
like it. I like that Bulldog pick, Dave. All right, that
Yep.
is our 12 games for the YouTube show. Thank y'all for watching. Let me throw up the recap for everybody. We'll run through it real quick, and then we will transition over to our podcast for the 4 exclusive bonus games that we'll run through over there. We're talking Wake Forest, Florida State, Miami SMU, Cincinnati Utah, I think is another one that we're talking. And then we even got one more for you that is slipping my mind right now.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe it's Miami SMU. Did you say that?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did. You threw that one on there, Dave. I'm not looking forward to talking
Yeah, I
about it. I
did.
think that could be a rough one. I think
I
that could be a
did.
rough one. But we'll talk
We're
about
gonna
that
talk some
shortly.
shit on that one, buddy. Come on.
Great. Can't wait. Can't wait. So we got Air Force Army. I got the under. Military matchup. Just don't overthink it. 49.5 is a massive number for these running offenses. Under 49.5. You got Army in that one. We're both on the Wildcats of Arizona to get the cover there. I'm on Louisville. You're on Va-Tech at home. I'm on Hawaii, San Jose State, and the over. You are on Hawaii to get it done on the road. You got Tennessee at home against Oklahoma. I like the over in that one. We're both on North Texas at home to get the cover. I'm on NC State at home to get the cover against the Yellow Jackets. You like them. I'm on the over in Texas Tech, Kansas State. You like Texas Tech. I got Florida in the first half. You got over the total for the game against Georgia in that one. Vanderbilt, Texas. I got the over. You got Texas outright. UNLV, New Mexico. We are both on the over in that one. And last but not least, the game we just talked about, Mississippi State, Texas. I got the first half over 33. And you have the Bulldogs plus 4.5 on the road in that one to potentially get their first SEC victory of the year. Dave, I think that was a great show, sir.
It was awesome. And just so everyone knows, we're gonna cut this off. We'll cut the YouTube cast off, and then basically what we do is we run 4 games on the podcast side, and sometime in the next few hours you'll be able to hear those last 4 games on the podcast. So those
Usually,
folks that
it's
are
been pretty quick lately. It's been like an hour or two lately. It's
that
sped up a little bit. So
even on Apple. Is Apple
I
is
think
Apple
so.
uploading?
I know Spotify. I know Spotify drops
Spotify goes
pretty early.
quick. Spotify goes
Yeah,
quick. So
Spotify
yeah,
drops pretty early.
Spotify, you can get it pretty quick. But man, we appreciate everybody being on. Great, a lot of new players tonight. Colin, appreciate you being on. Look forward to seeing you on this weekend at the cocktail party. You're gonna go, damn, this is serious football here. I mean, yeah, UVA's good. It's ACC football though, man. You're gonna see the big boy
Oh
football there,
my
Colin. So
God. Oh my
we'll see
God.
how it is. I mean, we've taken Mike to some SEC games, so he's seen how we play. So you're gonna enjoy it this weekend. But
Yeah,
I'm be
Colin, get ready to leave by the end of the third quarter. That's what you're gonna get ready for. Okay, bud? Get ready to leave the stadium by the end of the third quarter.
oh, don't even talk about it, Mike.
Everybody else, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Our podcast people, give us that 5-star rating. Make sure you catch us next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back live on YouTube, doing it all over again with another 12 games for you. As Dave said, we got another 4 coming to you, podcast people. Now, if you haven't already, please check out shopcya.com. Get those assets covered. If you're going to any of the games this weekend, you're going to have a clear plastic bag if you want to go through security for all your stuff. They want to look at everything because they're nosy. Don't let them be nosy. Cover your assets. It snaps right on once you go through security. You're good to go. Nobody can see what you got going on. Your credit cards, your license info, all that stuff. It's all hidden. Check them out. ShopCoa.com. Cover those assets. They got every team, I believe, in college. It's all licensed material. You can get the logos on there. You can get the colors. Check them out. Big
And
things
you can
coming.
find
Big things coming.
them in bookstores, in college bookstores everywhere. Our
You
local
can.
Kennesaw State bookstore, it's right there. And we got to go to one of those
You
games,
can.
Mike. All right.
I know Auburn has some. I'm just saying. Check them out. Check them out. You want to get ahead of it. You want to get ahead of it. You don't want to be those people that have to follow the wave, right? Get on top of it. Go ahead and surf that puppy. All right. Thank y'all to everybody watching. That's fucking gross, Dave. You can't end the show like that, even with your laggy video. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate it. Coming to the podcast. Yeah, I didn't tell you that your video was lagging because I didn't want you to get upset about it, but it's been laggy the entire show. We don't need to talk about it. We'll get it fixed for next week. We're good. We're good. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch y'all next week. Good luck. Podcast people, stick around. We got more for you.